I appreciate the support because that's how we make it on YouTube. From the views, the likes, the comments, all of that is what helps, us. And then it allows me to continue to provide the stuff free on YouTube. We're going to do a couple of grants. We won't walk through them because it'll take too much time, but I'm going to post a couple. So if there is something that you might be looking for, and it's not the two that I'm going to discuss, give me a comment and then I'll see if I can find something quickly. But these I've, obviously researched and looked at them because I prefer to do that to make sure that they're legit, because we don't want y'all to get scammed. Okay. First and foremost, what I want to talk about is I have finished my second book. It is a workbook and I'm so excited for it because I know in like my videos, I always say like, have your elevator pitch, write the stuff down, so then you can just continue to go. With the workbook, it has quizzes in it. It has fill in the blanks like true and false. It has spaces for you all to like answer the questions. And there's a ton of sample answers that are going to be in there. And I'm doing pre-sale. The pre-sale is $37, but the book is almost 100 pages. So it is worth it. And if you purchased my previous ebook, I don't believe in a bunch of pictures and trying to like sell you all, 2 pages of words and then you're spending $25 or whatever the case may be. Okay, so here is the pre-sale, and then you'll get like a kickback document, but then I will be sending them all out by the 25th. Now, if y'all got any questions or comments, let me know where you all are watching from. We have somebody from Vegas, somebody from Texas, and oh, thank you. This book has taken me a while to, get it together, and then finding somebody to do the graphics, because that's just not my jam. So I'm going to start with just like basic questions that I get all the time associated with grants. And the first question that I always get is, do you have a grant, and fill in a blank? It'll be some type of industry. Like I said, it could be taxes, it can be a boutique, it could be a masseuse, it could be HVAC, whatever it is. Do not focus on the industry unless the grant is industry specific. So if I think I posted, the previous grant that I did was for $25,000, and you had to have a community service component of your business. So if you were in the trucking business or if you were in the tax business, it didn't matter. As long as you were giving back to your community in some capacity, you are eligible to apply for that grant. So do not look for things where it's saying it's specific to your industry, because you're going to miss out on a lot of funds that way. And then also, I want y'all to start applying for these $500 grants, because I know when I post, $25,000 grant, $100,000 grant, everybody's watching those videos. They have like the highest views, but then if it's $500, people don't really watch those. And that's where you're going to have the least amount of competitors, because nobody's looking for them. Because my first grant was a $500 grant, because I have a real estate company as well. And I got the $500 grant for that. I had to send in my financials. However, a lot of people wasn't checking for that, but that $500 was helpful for me in my business, and I ain't had no competition. So definitely apply, even if it doesn't say specifically that it's for your industry. The second thing I want you all to think about that I think that sometimes is overlooked is taxes. Grants are taxable, and it's considered taxable income because it's free money, right? So if they give you $10,000, even if they give you $500, the $500 grant that I got was considered income, so I had to pay taxes on that money. So you do not want to get your grants and then you're not allotting a certain percentage to set aside for taxes, because what then happens is that can affect your business, right? I've seen businesses fail because they got these large grants, but they didn't factor in the amount that they needed to set aside for taxes, and lo and behold, here comes Uncle Sam, as we know, they'll do nothing, right? And wants to get all of the money. So please make sure that you're setting aside a percentage when you get these grants. And then also, aside from grants, I'm gonna hop over to the other side. A lot of the mentorships that I post where you're not gonna get money, but you're going to get like a 12-week cohort or a 16-week cohort, which is typically the range, sign up for those, because that is going to be invaluable. And then 9 times out of 10, they're going to connect you with some type of company or organization that is then going to give you access to money, or there's going to be somebody in the room that has access to money. So I don't want us to only focus on the fact that I want to get money in hand, because knowledge, as you can see, you can monetize knowledge, y'all. So knowledge is something that's going to stay with you, and that can't be taken away, versus if somebody gives me money and then I'm unaware of what to do with those funds. So please check out the small business grant playlist. There are several different opportunities where it's mentorships and those cohorts. And then also there's opportunities where there are not deadlines. So please look at the titles. And I typically will say no deadline, no business needed, global opportunity when I'm putting those videos in the playlist. So make sure that you're doing that as well. And then another thing that I want you all to think about when you're thinking about these grants is, can they be guaranteed? No, only the grantor can guarantee a grant. So I will get individuals that email me and say, hey, can you guarantee my grant, or is this grant guaranteed? Anybody across social media that is telling you that they can guarantee a grant is lying. Number one, it's probably a scam, because only the grantor can do that. And if somebody is telling you that, you know, no LLC needed, or they'll say LLC EIN number, guaranteed funding, run, right? Because you're thinking, oh, it's only $25, it's only $50. But imagine how much of that money is adding up. And then on top of that, they don't have access to these funds. And I want us to be mindful that anybody can create a screenshot. I don't know how to do it because technology is not my thing, but folks can create stuff where it looks real. And then you're seeing that, oh, $25,000 was deposited into this individual account. So please make sure that you are not getting got by somebody that is telling you that they can guarantee funds, okay? Another thing, when you're applying for the grants, and I say this in all of my videos, you have to think about innovation, right? So anything that you're doing, they've seen it, they've heard it. They're trying to figure out what differentiates you from your competitors. So we can't say I'm my own competition, because no, you're not. There are competitors out there, and you need to figure out, how can I twist whatever I'm doing so then I am going to be the person that is in the forefront, or that's spearheading this new technology or innovative idea that is attached to whatever your business is, okay? First grant, and then I'm going to go into like a few more pointers when you're applying for the grant specifically. The first grant that I have, it is for $5,000. And the benefit about this one is they want it to be anonymous. So when I say anonymous, so when you're submitting your application, they don't want you to put any type of identifiers, because what they're going to do is it's going to be a point system. And then from that point system, they're going to select individuals for the grant. So I'm going to share my screen so we can then look at this grant opportunity. So let's do that quickly. Okay, guys, so this grant opportunity is for Fund for Teachers. Now, yes, this specific grant is for teachers. So this is when you could say this is industry specific. But what I appreciate about this grant opportunity is it's for teachers that are teaching K through 12. You must have been teaching for a minimum of 3 years. And then it also has to be that 50% of your time is in the classroom. So you cannot be someone that's a substitute teacher, or I guess part-time and substitute is the same, but you must be doing this full-time, and it has to be K through 12. And then they're going to give you 90% of this grant up front, and then you'll get the 10% after you've given them proof of the things that you've done. So similar to some of the other grants, is they're going to do check-ins. They're going to want to make sure that you are using the fund for the purpose that you requested to use the funds for. But on top of this one is you're going to have a fellowship. So you're not just going to get the $5,000. You're then going to be in a fellowship, I presume, with other teachers, but there's going to be industry experts as well. But I know that in this, day and age, teachers are paying for all these items in their classroom. So this will be helpful for them, but you're going to go to fundsforteachers.org, and then that's going to get you to this main page that we're looking at. And then you're going to be able to apply. And then when you click apply, you'll get into the application. You will have to get an account, and I'm not going to go through that setup process, but definitely look into this grant opportunity if you are a teacher or if you know a teacher. I'm pretty sure all of us know someone that is teaching, so this could be helpful for them. And then, like I said, leave me a comment if there's other, hey, Miss Frugal, if there's other opportunities that you're looking for. I'm going to go through one more grant, and then I'll pick one based off of the comments and try to find one that is attached to that ask. But I think we have, I don't know how many minutes I've been on here, but I want to try to keep it short, like 30 minutes or less. So definitely, if you have a grant, if you have questions, put them in here now before the live stop. Now let's go back to your application. So now you've figured out how am I being innovative and things like that. The next thing that they're going to look at is how concise are you with your application. They don't want a memoir. A lot of these people, they have limited characters. It's limited information that you can provide to them. So you definitely always want to come out with a bang. Your first sentence needs to be an attention grabber. And in the workbook, I give a ton of examples of that. And then I also have you all practice making that. So when you get ready to do your application, you're doing it right away. So you don't want to start with, I've always dreamed about it, or no. I've impacted 500 families, or I've increased sales by 10%, or I went from this to this, right? So they want to hear your story, but they also want to know your impact, and it's typically impact in community. And I stress this in all of my videos. I don't care what type of business you do. You need to make sure that you are putting some type of effort inside of your community, because most grantors want to know that, okay, yes, we're giving this individual this money, but how are you giving back to your community? And you can give back to your community. You can volunteer. It doesn't necessarily have to be that I'm giving a product. Time is a resource. Or if you're a service provider, you might be providing your services free of charge, but it could be something that's completely left field from your business, but you're giving back to your community. I know one grant opportunity that I posted that it was for $1 million. And again, they wanted to know, what have you done within community? So if you don't need an LLC. That's another thing too, y'all. Some of the grants that I post, yes, you need an LLC, but I post plenty of them where you don't need a business, or they're not looking for individuals that have an LLC. So don't feel like I gotta have this LLC in order to go get the grants. Just make sure, if you're doing nothing else right now, even if you're sitting thinking about I don't know what type of business I want to do, I'm trying to figure, go volunteer in your community, right? Because even if during this 6-month period, you're still trying to create your business plan and strategize, now you have 6 months that you can say what you have been doing in your community, and that's definitely going to be important, okay? The last thing for now, before we look at this other grant, and I want to get into some of the questions, yes, send it to your daughter that teaches, because this grant, and I think it's an annual grant on top of that, it's not a lot of folks applying for stuff like this because it's $5,000. They're not looking for it. But another thing that I want you all to think about when you are applying for different grants is thinking about, what is your stop gap? We talked about being innovative. We talked about your budget. We talked about being concise. But the one question that they're going to ask you is your pain points. They're going to ask it various ways, like what's been some barriers, what's been some challenges, but they're literally wanting to know that you have inventoried your business and you figured out what is it that is preventing my business from propelling, and that you then have a strategy on how you can overcome that hump, right? So with myself, I typically always say marketing. Yours could be customer retention, It could be technology. It could be, same as me, marketing, branding. It could be all these different things. It could just be scaling your business, right? Because now you have an influx of customers and you can't go past this number because of whatever it is, fill in the blank. But always sit back and inventory your business and say, okay, this is where I'm at. How do I get over this stopgap where I'm not moving past that at all? And you already know one of the questions. What are you gonna do with the money? Why do you need the money? How much money do you need? If they're offering $25,000, even if they're offering like the teacher grant, $5,000, if you don't need that money, do not ask for $5,000. Don't ask for $25,000. If what you're needing requires $2,000 or requires $17,000, that's what you need to ask for, because the grantor is going to look at everything, your business plan, they're going to look at your budget, and then they're going to say, okay, this person is trying to accomplish X. Do they really need the amount of money that they're asking for? Because they want to make sure that you are thinking like a business owner and that you're not just trying to like do this money grab, because it's probably going to be other opportunities. I always say this, they're probably going to then put you on some type of email list, and then there's going to be other opportunities that are going to be there for you. So definitely only ask for what it is that you need. And also remember, whatever you ask for, you got to pay taxes on. So think about that as well. And then with the money situation, don't just say like, it's going to help me, grow my business, right? They want to hear about strategy. They want you to be intentional, and they want to know like what is going to be the impact on your business, right? So if I get X amount of dollars, this will help me increase sales by 10%. If I get X amount of dollars, this will allow me to increase my knowledge base, because now you're going to attend some type of conference, or you're going to get an intern, or you're going to be able to get better technology, which is going to help you with different systems for your business. Systems will help you scale your business. So they definitely, again, when you're applying for these grants, they're looking more for strategy. They're not looking for basic answers, because I can't think of a better way to say it when you're saying that the money is going to help grow my business. Yeah, they know that. That's why they're going to give you the money. But how is it going to specifically help you grow your business? But then you still got to be concise when you're saying all of this. So let's look at this other grant. So this second grant, if I don't have no questions, the second grant is for $15,000. I'm going to share my screen quickly so we can look at that. So give me 1 second. Okay, y'all. So this grant is from Feed the Soul Foundation. This one is for not just, restaurants. If you have a food truck, if you're trying to get into the food industry, and they give you $10,000 in cash. And then there's $5,000, which is allotted for just different things that they're going to provide for you. Here you can come to their website, look at the different things that they have to offer. And the website is Feed the Soul, FOU. It's not food, because FOU is for their foundation.org. And peruse their website. What I always say, when you go to these different websites for these grantors, even if it's a grant that you're not eligible for, sign up for their email list, because they're probably going to send you other grant opportunities. Because a lot of the grants I've signed up for in order to do the walkthroughs on YouTube, they then send me information about other grants. So I definitely think that this is something to sign up for, even if you're not eligible for this specific grant opportunity. So that's that one. We're trying to keep this short and sweet. Now, I need y'all to let me know, what type of grant would you like for me to try to find in the little bit of time that we have left? And if you have any other questions. I want to circle back and talk about my workbook that's coming out. I talked about it at the top of the video, and the workbook is close to 100 pages. There's going to be quizzes in the book. There's going to be true false. I think I got some fill in the blanks. And then it's going to be sample answers. It's going to do like different overviews about grants and things that you should consider. And then it's also going to be a space for you to answer questions so you can have your elevator pitch as well. And I'm thinking about writing another book about, well, it's going to be a workbook on making a business plan. Let me know what y'all think about that. If you think that would be helpful, it would literally be like, we would start with the executive summary. I would talk about what it is. I would give an example of an executive summary, and then you all would do like fill in the blanks of how you can make your own executive summary. It's still in my head. I'm not sure. It's not on the paper yet, but let me know if that is something that would be helpful for you all as well. A halfway house. So, Christy, I don't know if you joined us at the beginning. So when I post grants, if you meet the eligibility requirements and it's not industry specific, so the two that we talked about so far are industry specific. So being a teacher and then, being in the restaurant business. For example, I posted a grant the week before last. It was for $25,000. And the only requirement was that there was some type of charitable piece in your business where you were giving back to your community. So if you have a halfway house and then, I don't know, every winter you feed the homeless or you donate coats, you're now eligible for that grant opportunity. So you don't have to have a grant that says it's specific to somebody that has a halfway house. You just need to be strategic when you're looking at different grant opportunities, because I know I posted one that it was for women. However, that was the only requirement. And then it was 51% ownership. So you still could have had a partner that wasn't a woman. So when you're looking at the grants, don't get hung up on, is it for my industry? Unless, again, it says you have to be a teacher. You have to be in the restaurant industry because you're going to be eligible. What I would recommend for yourself in my small business grant playlist, there are global opportunities, and I'm an advocate for mentorship. There is a global opportunity where there's a 16-week cohort, and literally what they do is they take you from, business idea all the way down to now you're launched, now you're successful. But the goal of this cohort is to get you to your first $1 million. So whatever it is that they're doing in this cohort, that is their end goal and that is their end result. It's free to sign up. If you get selected, you have to do the 16 weeks, but if their goal is to get you to $1 million, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some grant opportunities along the way. So definitely look at that, but then I'm going to look at the list that I currently have and see if there's something where we can strategize around that to see if you can then try to apply for that opportunity. You're welcome. Okay, so another thing I want you to think about when you're applying for grants, and this goes to when they're asking for video submissions. This has been in the last 2 grants that I posted, which typically it's not grant submissions that's required, but you always want to read the rules. And when I say rules, not what's on the first page, you need to go into the terms and conditions, because they won't tell you a lot of things about the video submission in hopes that you will submit a video that is not aligned with what they're looking for. Typically, they'll say it needs to be 3 minutes or less. I've seen some that's a minute or less. But then what they typically will say is only and the applicant or somebody that has an interest in the business can be in the video. So folks will go and do videos where the community is in it. That makes you immediately ineligible because you didn't take the necessary time to read the terms and conditions. And I tell people, grants is testing your storytelling capabilities is what they're really testing, outside of like being concise as a business that can, scale and all that good stuff. How influential can you be with the limited amount of characters that they are providing to you, whether it's written or whether it is in video form? You are welcome, Miss Christy. So I'm about to quickly see if I can find something that we can look at. So let me quickly share my screen again and find another grant. Okay, I think I found one. So this one, although this grant is specific to women, and I know I've had a couple of comments from the men saying that they don't see no grants for them. I will say before I go into this grant, and I've mentioned this grant before, which is the Awesome Foundation, and I'll pull that one up after I finish talking about this one. And that one is actually similar to this one, but everyone is eligible. So this is an example where this is $1,000 small business grant opportunity. And what I say to people is, which I said at the top of this, little money is big money, right? Because you're gonna have less competitors trying to get this $1,000. And what this does is, this one is just for your idea only, to support whatever it is that you're trying to do. And yes, they have what they're gonna look at. So your vision, that's 40%. And also with the percentages, I always say when you're answering these questions, make sure that your answers are weighted according to what they list, if they list them. So if they're saying 40% for vision and 40% for passion, that's 80%. So they really want to know, what is your vision and why are you passionate about this and why is this important to you? And then what are you going to use the money for, right? We've already talked about that. That could be a sentence or two. You know, I'm looking for $1,000 because I'm in the process of starting a halfway house. And I am passionate about this halfway house because of fill in the blank. It could be experiences that you have. It could be something that has just been weighing on you, whatever it is. And then your vision from inception to 5 years from now. So this is when you take them on that journey of, what is it going to look like and why do you want to get there? And if your vision is you have 4 beds, 8 beds, I'm not sure if you're going to have multiple locations or if you're going to have this one location. What type of resources are you going to provide inside of your halfway house? Understanding that you can then get government funding, right? Because halfway houses, you can definitely get a lot of money. And I don't know, and this, you can put in the comments, I don't know if you're establishing this as a nonprofit, because that's a whole different conversation, because this is for profits. If it's established as a nonprofit, there's a plethora of grants and money that is sitting and waiting to be provided to that type of business idea. So think about that too, if you want to do a nonprofit versus a for-profit. But this is an opportunity where this is not industry specific. You don't have to have any type of business at this time when you can apply for this grant opportunity because it's not industry specific. And in order to get to this, the thing is a little different. It's programs.yippitydoo.com / the big idea grant for women. And then I'm going to quickly show you all the Awesome Foundation, which I know I've mentioned this one several times. All right, so here is the Awesome Foundation, is awesomefoundation.org. This is a global opportunity. They have multiple chapters. So you just go up here, you can look at their chapters. Essentially, every month they give out $1,000 to business owners, but because it's across the US and beyond, here's all of the different areas and locations where you could be eligible to apply for this grant opportunity, small business grant opportunity. And when I'm saying small business grant opportunity, especially for the Awesome Foundation and the Yippity Doo one, you don't have to have a business for these. So those two, no business is required, because this one is, do you have an awesome idea and do you need $1,000 to help you implement that awesome idea? And then you submit it. And then the beautiful thing about this one is, if they don't have a chapter near you, you can select any chapter. Or if you're located in one of their chapter cities, but your idea will be best served in a different area, you can apply for that different chapter as well. So this is another opportunity. So now, if you're like, I don't know what I'm trying to do, here's $2,000 worth of money that you can apply for. If you're not a teacher, which was our $5,000 grant opportunity that we talked about earlier, and or if you are in the food industry, which that one was collectively $15,000 worth of money. So yeah, I don't have much more. I'm gonna go live a little bit more often in 2 weeks. I am having a young lady come on here who's been killing it, making 6 figures plus 6 figures plus 6 figures. And we're going to start talking more about passive income ideas. So I'm super excited for her. It's going to be on a Thursday at 6:30. We was a little late today. Life was happening. But if there's other passive income ideas that you want to talk about, this young lady, she's going to talk about like the beauty industry. She does a lot of stuff. She does classes, she does lashes, she does, I don't know what it's called. It's not lip injections because I don't do those, but it's something where it makes your lips get bigger. I don't know. What is it? Eyebrow lamination, all that type of stuff. So if there's other stuff, we're going to have somebody come on and talk about taxes, travel industry. So definitely leave me a comment. There's videos on vending machines. So look at the passive income playlist. Check out the pre-sale for the workbook if that's something that you're interested in. It'll definitely be in the description. It'll definitely be in the comments, all that good stuff. Are there any questions? Yes, brown sugar. I am going to, I'm trying to commit myself to go live more. When I first started, I went live all the time because I didn't know how to edit or record, so I had no choice. And then I learned how to edit, and it made it a little bit easier for me to be more consistent with putting the grants out every week. But definitely let me know topics that you all will want to discuss. Being mindful that I cannot provide legal advice, even though I am a licensed attorney. I could talk about, you know, best practices. I could talk about the best contracts. I could talk about legally protecting your business when it comes to contracts. I can talk about those types of things, but I cannot give personalized legal advice because I don't want to lose my bar license. So when you're thinking about those topics, but leave me a comment because that'd be helpful for me to figure out what I can go live about besides just grants and passive income. Maybe we can start talking about little things on the legal side, business side, all that good stuff. You are quite welcome. So I'm gonna give it a few more seconds. Okay, Miss Princess, because I'm coming to Vegas. It's not even decided. I'm just waiting now for us to finalize everything. So I'm kind of excited. So if you can let me know about the Airbnbs, because last time I went to Vegas, I was a little younger too. I was on the strip, just doing what people do on the strip. Adult beverages after adult beverage after adult beverage. So this time it's gonna be for business. So I won't be doing, you know, I might go on the strip. I don't think I'll be doing stuff that I was doing in my heyday. So okay, so I don't see any more questions, but if you do have any, leave me a comment. Thank you so much for congratulating me on the book. I am incredibly excited, and fingers crossed that, you know, people buy it, because I need y'all to buy the book so I can keep sitting here on YouTube providing this information. But as I say in all of my videos, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for supporting the channel. I want to thank you for watching these videos, and wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are having a beautiful day, and I will see you all next time.